What if I told you your knees aren't aging? They're screaming for help? That the pain you feel isn't permanent, it's a signal. And hidden inside your daily routine are silent mistakes that are quietly destroying your joints without you even realizing it. Most people believe knee pain after 50 is just something you have to live with, a slow, steady decline, more stiffness, less movement, and eventually giving up the activities you once loved. Long walks, stairs, dancing, even getting out of a chair without holding on to something, all of it begins to feel like a battle. But here's the shocking part. Your knees aren't the problem. It's what's around them. It's what you're not doing. And it's what you've been told for years. Just rest. Let them heal. That advice, it might be the very thing making you worse. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal how low-impact movements, balance training, and a few surprising tricks involving your hips, ankles, even your daily water intake could rebuild your knees naturally. No surgery, no painkillers, no expensive injections. Just a smarter, science-backed way to turn back the clock on your knees, even if you're over 50. Stick around, because what you're about to learn could mean the difference between staying active or watching life pass you by. Section 1. The hidden cause of weak knees after 50. Here's what most people never hear from their doctor. Your knees aren't wearing out because of age, they're breaking down because they're being ignored. As we get older, we naturally slow down. We rest more. We avoid stairs. We stop kneeling, squatting, stretching. And while that might feel safer, your body sees it differently. It sees it as surrender. Your joints, especially the knees, rely on movement to survive. Inside each knee is a lubricating substance called synovial fluid. Think of it like natural oil for your joints. But here's the catch. Your body only produces it when you move, and specifically, when you move the right way. When you sit for long hours or avoid using your knees out of fear, the cartilage dries out, the joint space shrinks, the muscles around the knee begin to weaken, and soon, your knees aren't just stiff, they're unstable. Doctors refer to this silent process as disuse atrophy. It means your body isn't falling apart because of your age, it's falling apart because it's no longer being used correctly. But here's where it gets interesting. You don't need high-impact exercise to turn things around. In fact, some of the most effective knee restoration techniques are incredibly gentle. So gentle, you could do them while watching TV or sitting on the edge of your bed. What matters isn't how much you move. It's how smartly you move. And once you understand that, everything begins to change. Section 2. The wrong exercises are making it worse. This might surprise you. Some of the most popular knee exercises on YouTube or at the gym are actually making your joints worse, not better. You've probably seen them. Deep squats, lunges, stair jumps, or even fast-paced leg workouts marketed as joint-friendly. But here's the truth for anyone over 50. Especially with pre-existing cartilage damage or inflammation, these movements can be a ticking time bomb. Why? Because your body has changed. Your knees don't absorb impact the way they used to. The muscles that once protected your joints, like your glutes, hamstrings, and quads, may have weakened from years of sitting or lack of balance training. And when those muscles don't engage correctly, the pressure lands directly on your knee joints. It's like driving a car with no shock absorbers. Every bump in the road causes damage. Even worse, these exercises often focus on brute strength instead of joint stability, which is the real key to rebuilding healthy knees. Without stability, your body moves out of alignment, and that misalignment leads to more wear and tear. Most people don't realize this until it's too late. They think they're doing the right thing. They follow a trendy leg day routine, push through the discomfort, and tell themselves the pain is part of the process. But joint pain is not a badge of honor, it's a red flag. The goal isn't to work harder, it's to move smarter. And that brings us to something most people overlook, a gentle, natural way your body can actually start healing your joints from the inside out. Section 3. The body's natural joint rebuilding signal. Here's something you probably haven't heard from your physical therapist. Your body has a built-in system designed to heal your joints, but it only works if you activate it. Inside every healthy joint, there's a fluid called synovial fluid. It acts like a shock absorber and nutrient delivery system rolled into one. This fluid coats your cartilage, reduces friction, and helps nourish the joint lining. But here's the catch. It doesn't just show up on its own. Your body only produces and circulates synovial fluid when you perform controlled, low-impact movements. We're talking gentle knee extensions, light resistance band presses, toe taps, and wall slides, not high-impact cardio or heavy strength workouts. These movements stimulate your joints without grinding them, triggering what scientists call mechanotransduction, a fancy word that means your body senses motion and responds by releasing healing compounds. In other words, motion, done the right way, becomes medicine. What's even more powerful is how these movements help re-expand the joint capsule, creating space for your knees to breathe, realign, and rebuild. When done daily, even for just 10 minutes, this process begins to rehydrate cartilage, restore fluid flow, and reduce that dreaded bone-on-bone sensation. You're not just moving, you're nourishing. It's like watering a dried-out plant. With consistency, even something that looks lifeless can start to revive itself from the inside out. But the real magic happens when you combine this with something most people never even think about. Balance. Section 4. The balance trick that activates knee stabilizers. If you've ever felt like your knees might give out while walking, this is why. Most people think knee strength comes from lifting weights or doing squats. But the real secret? Balance. Yes, balance. Because hidden deep around your knees are small but powerful muscles called stabilizers. They don't make you look ripped. You won't feel them burn like a bicep curl, but they're vital. These tiny muscles are responsible for keeping your knee steady and aligned as you move. And here's the scary part. These are usually the first muscles to weaken as you age. Without them, your knee becomes unstable, like a door hinge without screws. Every step becomes risky. Your cartilage wears faster. The joint takes on stress it wasn't meant to handle. But the good news? These stabilizers are easy to wake up. You don't need machines or fancy equipment. You just need movements that challenge your balance slowly and safely. Try this. Stand near a wall and lift one foot slightly off the ground. Hold for 10 seconds. Feel your ankle wobble? That's your stabilizers kicking in. Or walk in a straight line, heel to toe, like walking on a tightrope. Just 2 minutes a day can start to rebuild knee confidence. These micro movements send signals to your brain, improving proprioception, your body's sense of position and control. With practice, your joints become more stable, your posture improves, and everyday tasks like climbing stairs or walking outdoors feel easier again. It's not about balance for the sake of balance. It's about giving your knees the backup support they've been begging for. And once that support is in place, something unexpected happens. Your pain starts to decrease. Not just because your knees are stronger, but because they're no longer being forced to do all the work alone. But before we get into the actual home routine you can start today, there's one more thing you need to know. Section 5. How weak ankles and hips secretly hurt your knees. Here's the twist nobody tells you. Your knees might not even be the real problem. In fact, studies show that up to 70% of knee strain doesn't start at the knees at all. It starts at the ankles and hips. Think of your body like a chain. If one link is weak, the others have to compensate. So when your ankles become stiff from years of underuse, or your hips weaken from sitting all day, your knees pick up the slack. And that extra workload? It's what leads to chronic pain, swelling, and that bone-on-bone feeling you dread. Here's what that looks like in real life. 1. Tight ankles mean your foot can't roll naturally as you walk, so your knee twists awkwardly to make up for it. 2. Weak glutes or hips mean your upper legs lose alignment. Your knees collapse inward, increasing pressure on the cartilage. San. Poor posture from your lower back sends imbalance signals down the chain again, landing squarely on your knees. And you wonder why stretching your legs or doing more knee exercises hasn't helped. You're treating the symptom, not the source. But once you start targeting your hips and ankles, even with just 5 minutes a day of focused movement, you take the pressure off your knees. Everything shifts back into balance. You're not just training muscles, you're correcting movement patterns that have been off for years. That's why any real knee restoration plan must include a whole chain approach. Not just the knees, but the joints above and below. When those pieces lock into place, your knees finally get the relief they've been craving. And here's the best part. You don't need a personal trainer or gym membership to do it. You just need a smart, daily routine, and that's exactly what we'll walk through next. Section 6. A simple daily knee rebuild routine you can do from home. You don't need fancy machines. You don't need a gym. And you definitely don't need to spend hours stretching. All it takes is 10 minutes a day with the right movements to start rebuilding your knees, naturally and safely. Here's a simple home routine designed specifically for people over 50. No jumping, no stress. Just calm, controlled movements that restore stability, lubrication, and strength. 1. Seated leg extensions. No weights. Sit upright in a chair. Slowly lift one foot until your leg is straight. Hold for 3 seconds. Lower with control. Activates quads and restores knee joint motion. 2. Resistance band knee presses. Wrap a band around both thighs. Gently press knees outward and release. Engages the glutes and protects against inward knee collapse. 3. Standing hamstring curls. Hold onto a chair. Slowly lift one heel towards your butt. Hold, lower. strengthens the back of the leg to balance the joint. 4. Calf raises with balance hold. Stand tall. Rise onto your toes. Hold for 2-3 seconds, then lower slowly. Activates ankle stabilizers and improves circulation to the knees. 5. Heel to toe walk. Balance training. Walk in a straight line, placing the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other. Fires up deep stabilizer muscles and retrains joint alignment. Just 2 rounds of this 10 to 12 minutes can make a massive difference over time. Even better, this routine can be adjusted to your ability. Can't stand for long? Do it seated. Need support? Use a wall or countertop. The key is consistency, not intensity. In as little as 4 weeks, many people begin to notice 1. Less stiffness in the morning. 2. More confidence while walking. 3. Fewer cracking or grinding sounds. 4. Improved balance and posture. And remember, every rep is sending a message to your body. I'm not done. I'm rebuilding. I'm coming back stronger. But how fast this happens depends on what you fuel your body with. And that leads us to the next surprising piece of the puzzle. Section 7. What happens after 30 days of this routine? So what happens when you stick to this simple routine for 30 days? You begin to feel something most people over 50 thought they had lost forever: control. The first thing people report is less morning stiffness. That ache you feel when getting out of bed, it softens. Your knees feel more fluid, like the joints are waking up with you, not fighting you. By the second week, many notice increased confidence while walking, especially on stairs or uneven ground. That old fear of the knee giving out, it starts to fade because the stabilizer muscles are waking up. The cartilage is getting nourished. The body is remembering how to move. By week 3, posture improves. You're not leaning as much, not favoring one side. The entire chain from hips to ankles is working in sync again. You may even notice less pressure in your lower back or feet because your alignment is correcting itself naturally. And by day 30, many people say something that gives chills. I forgot I even had knee pain today. Not because the pain magically disappeared, but because the body, when given the right movement, balance, and support, knows how to heal. It knows how to protect itself. The joint noise gets quieter. The inflammation goes down. You no longer need to brace yourself every time you stand up. You move with intention, with ease, and maybe, for the first time in years, without fear. But if you want to take this progress even further, there's one more secret that supercharges everything we've talked about. And it starts inside your grocery bag. Section 8, the collagen plus vitamin C link no one talks about. You've rebuilt your movement. You've restored your balance. But now it's time to feed your joints. Because even the best exercises won't give you full results if your body is missing the raw materials it needs to heal. And that's where collagen comes in. Here's the truth. Cartilage is made up of over 70% collagen. It's the scaffolding that holds your joints together smooth, flexible, and shock-absorbing. But after the age of 25, your body starts producing less and less of it. By 50, that drop becomes dramatic. And that's a big deal, because without enough collagen, your joints can't rebuild. The cartilage can't repair. The cushion between your bones thins out, and pain creeps in. So what's the solution? Supplementing with collagen peptides, but with a catch. Your body can't absorb collagen properly unless it has enough vitamin C to convert it into usable form. Without vitamin C, collagen passes through your system like a missed opportunity. That means a scoop of collagen powder in the morning is great, but pair it with a glass of orange juice, a kiwi, or a handful of berries, and now your joints actually get what they need. Some even add turmeric or omega-3 seconds to reduce inflammation alongside their routine, and the results often multiply. Hydration also matters. Joints are made up of more than 80% water. Dehydrated tissue becomes brittle and inflamed. So drink water consistently throughout the day, not just when you're thirsty. This trifecta smart movement, balance training, and collagen plus vitamin C support is how you stop your knees from aging ahead of you, and more importantly, it's how you take back your freedom. Closing thought, you're not too late, you're right on time. Here's what most people never realize. You don't need perfect knees. You don't need to move like you did at 20. You just need to move without fear, without pain, with confidence. And that's possible not through extreme workouts or expensive treatments, but through intentional care, by choosing smarter movements, by rebuilding strength in the places no one talks about, by feeding your joints what they've been craving for years. Every single step you take from here on out is either breaking you down or building you back up. So let this be your turning point. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. But the moment you start, the very moment your body starts responding, quietly, powerfully, day by day. Your knees are not a lost cause. They're a comeback story in progress. If this helped you today, hit like to support your journey. Subscribe for more smart, natural health tips for life after 50. And in the comments, let us know what's one thing you want to be able to do again pain-free. Let's encourage each other in this journey back to strength. You've got this, and we've got your back and your knees.